Do you really have a business if you don't have a team? A lot of businesses get stuck at that $300,000 mark.
Yep. Owning a business is the ultimate personal development tool. The bigger you want to grow, the more you have to develop as a person.
All right, man. On today's episode of Millionaire Mindset, we have the CEO of EFS Group P LLC, none other than Ephraim Eggbelly. Ephraim, how you feeling?
I'm good. How's everything going?
Everything's going well with me, man. How is business?
It's booming.
Oh, business is booming.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, especially in these challenging times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of companies cannot say the same. A lot of people cannot say the same.
Mm-hmm.
On this podcast, we like to ask entrepreneurs questions that can help those who are watching get to where you are today.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I know you particularly are a business growth CPA.
Right.
So you specialize in helping people maximize their profits.
Right. Yep. I like to say that we're an accounting and fractional CFO company, right? So when you think of a CFO, a chief financial officer, that's someone that comes in and they help you to manage the money that's coming in, right? They help you to figure out, okay, how much money do I need to be putting aside? How much money do I need to be spending in different areas? We're like the quarterback in some ways for a lot of businesses, right? Because we give them that plan, that strategy of, okay, this is the goal that you're trying to reach for the year. You want to hit, let's say, $5 million in revenue over the next 12 months. These are the things that you need to do. These are the people you need to hire. These are the offices that you might need to move into. These are the things that you need to do in order to hit that from a financial standpoint.
Right. Well, let's start with the basics, right? And what do you think is the basics of somebody who, let's say, I want to start a business?
Okay.
What do I need to do?
I say the number one thing you need to do is figure out what it is that you want to sell, whether it's a service or a product, then go out there and make money. Like, that's the biggest thing that I always tell people to do in the beginning. Focus on how can I generate revenue? And you shouldn't really be thinking about too much of anything else until you hit that $500,000 to $1 million mark in your business. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is we'll make some money, then we say, okay, I need to go do this, I need to go do that. And then now we get distracted. We're not focused on the eye of the prize, right? Like, I need to hit this goal of revenue, because once I hit that goal, that $1 million or whatever it is, or that 500,000, now I can literally buy whatever it is that I want. I can go hire an accountant. I can go do this. I can go do that because I have the money that's coming in.
Right. Well, a lot of businesses get stuck at that $300,000 mark.
Yep.
And what's said is that it's because they don't have a team.
Right.
So at what point do you get a team?
I would say around that $200,000 to $300,000 mark is when it makes sense to like start building out a team. Let's say you're at 100,000 in revenue. That might make sense to go get a VA, right? A virtual assistant, someone that online that you can hire that might be in the Philippines or in India or somewhere, right? That's low cost, but they're gonna come in, they're gonna take a lot of the things that you shouldn't really be doing off of your plate. All the $10 tasks, right? Like checking your email, checking your calendar, booking things on your calendar, your travel, all the little small things that really just take up all the time in your day. Someone else should be doing that.
Right.
You know, and then so now you're leveraging that person to now say, okay, you're coming in, you're handling these things, that frees up my time to go generate more revenue and create more business, right? So yeah, I would say that's the really first hire you should make.
So with that, like, let's say you're bringing in these people from these other countries, you're gonna have to have something in place in order to teach them, and or it will be taking up time away from making the revenue. So how do you compensate for that time?
Great question. So one of the things you can do whenever you hire someone like that is you teach them how to do it, and then you tell them to create the SOP or the playbook. Yeah. So you can already have it in place, but if you want to move quick, hire that person, show them how to do it, and then have them create the SOP, the standard operating procedures, or the playbook. So that's a gem that I really realized recently, right? Instead of me having to sit there and make all these SOPs myself, who better than to make them than the people who are actually doing it in your company? Like, they would know the insight.
That's hard right there. That's good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good game.
Yeah.
Do you really have a business if you don't have a team?
I believe that you do not have a business if you do not have a team. And the reason I say that is there's different levels of entrepreneurship, right? Like, there's the level of, okay, I've come in and I'm doing everything myself. And then there's the level of I'm a 1099 contractor. So someone has hired me, and even though I'm not an employee of that company, I still work for that company to a certain degree, or I work for companies and I'm doing work for them. And then you have the entrepreneurship business where you're hiring people and you're employing them, and you have to lead them, you have to manage them, you have to train them, you have to coach them. You got to deal with all the things that come with people, right?
Right.
And so until you really experience that, I feel like it's hard to say that you have an actual business. I know that might rile up some people, but that's my personal opinion.
Right. That